the unique nature of Big Green Lake, what kind of draw it is for tourism, you know, how quality fisheries affect the economy, hotel accommodations, all that stuff, all comes down to water quality. If you have a pea soup lake, you're not going to have that same economic impact. Educational opportunities. Again, Big Green Lake, it's a unique lake. It's the deepest natural lake in the state. It's a two-story fishery. You've got a warm water fishery on the top. You've got a trout fishery below. And there's a lot of other educational opportunities in there. It also has a great number of invasive species that are unique to the area, to Green Lake County at least. So that's something to educate users that move invasive species long distances. We get a lot of transient boaters that come from Milwaukee, Chicago, Great Lakes areas. Management conflicts. Silver Creek shallows. We have some issues in the past on there in trying to manage carp and plants in the backwater areas. We get some user conflicts because people also use their boats back in those areas. So that's something you're going to have a conflict. You just have to find a balance on how to manage those two uses. Oh, is it me again?
You have water quality and...
Do I have management capacity too?
Yep.
Okay. Management capacity, planning, and integration. Currently, the comprehensive lake management plan is unavailable. That was kind of the whole opening to this session. But we have to really get some of these units together. We've been having all kinds of different people work on different stuff over the years. So when we say we're brand new into this process, individually we're not new to this process, just as a group. So don't think we're kind of freshmen up here making this up as we go too. So. Comprehensive watershed plan is unavailable. A big disconnect here is that I work for Green Lake County. And if you see this map here, that's Green Lake County. That's why there's a photo on one side, not the other. That's Fond du Lac County. That doesn't exist to me, so I don't have a photo of it even. So we have to work with Fond du Lac County closer, because you look at the size of the watershed, that's almost 50% of the water coming in here. So we need a comprehensive plan to deal with that. And then local partnership development, and that's the whole thing. We need to work with the Lake District Association, DNR, individual business owners, you know, the fishing guides, property owners. We all need to work together to really get something comprehensive. And then water quality. Lake and stream monitoring needs. There's a lot of water coming into this lake from a lot of different points. We have a lot of different monitoring going on right now. And I think I'm learning, other people are learning that there's more going on than we even thought. Just no one's talking to each other. So we want to get a comprehensive monitoring plan put together.
We have done nuisance habitat. Underneath there, avoiding riparian expectations management. I guess I kind of think of that when I think of shorelines and shoreland too. And the things that we have under there is, you know, our conservancy partnership. We have a number of properties on Silver Creek, on Big Green Lake. We've been trying to get more and more of a diversity on the shoreline and not see everything like Ted referred to as a manicured lawn. At the same time, we have people who want to fish. We run aqueweed harvesting program. We have people on the lake who want to be cut. They don't like plants. We have other people who don't want us anywhere near their dock. They fish. There are different expectations. And I don't want to keep pointing back at what Ted said, but it makes so much sense because different people want different things. Some people, you know, we talk all the time. Our office during the summer gets 50 phone calls a day during heavy cutting time. You know, my grandkids are coming this weekend. Can you cut around my dock? I can't get out. I can't do this. We get different times of the year. This year, Orchard Avenue's getting it. Last year, it was Spring Grove Road. Why does it happen? What's going on? Why is part of the lake one year getting it? The next year, it's another part of the lake getting it. That's what we have going on, different things. At the same time, we're trying to create a more balanced shoreline. And we're trying to do, like Ted referred to, we're trying to restore shoreland areas so that people that come up here and want to relax and enjoy Big Green Lake can see the wildlife and the biodiversity that I think most of us do enjoy and want to see continue.
Aesthetics plays a little bit off of that, what Charlie said. You know, aesthetics, I think most people can agree, no matter if you like the manicured lawn or if you like the more natural states with the birds, that the water quality, you like that wow factor, going out there and saying, wow, I can see down 20 feet, I can see the bass swimming down there. It sparkles green when I drive by. I think everyone can probably with most certainty say, that's what I'd like to have in my lake. Now, is it possible? I don't know. Some lakes you can. This lake is pretty good quality still. But other aesthetic values as far as shoreline habitat, how that's developed, even boating aids. You start looking at some of the areas that get a lot of rock walls or buoys out in the lake, you start looking like Lake Michigan's frontage. Is that something that's important, or do you like the more open water without all the lanes everywhere? AIS, aquatic invasive species. The prevention needs greater attention. Like I mentioned, this here is a great transient boater place. People coming from all over this part of the country, this part of the state, to come and use our lake and bring other hitchhikers with them. So we really need to beef up the landings with education, with monitoring, try to keep some of those out. We have a half dozen species or so now. There's another 30 waiting to come in, and some we don't know about. Carp populations. There's been a lot done with carp over the years, different types of traps is an innovative barrier, a couple different kinds that have been used on the east end of the lake here, but they're really not well understood where they move throughout the lake during different seasons, where they're reproducing. So trying to understand some of those might be an important issue to look at. And zebra mussels, they came into the lake, it's been about 5 years now or so, I'm not sure the timeline, but how are those affecting the lake system? They generally clear lakes up, but they also start smothering out other species, other mussels, other clams, and affecting the biology that way.
Use conflicts. There's somebody in the room that I know and I worked a lot with, for example, in the Silver Creek estuary. We have definitely use conflicts between property owners who want to be able to get their boats out and don't want to have to mess with plants, and then you have other people who use that estuary and love the fact that it's become a nursery for the fisheries of the lake. And and I get calls to my office, both sides of that. And I think they're both good calls. I mean, I think, there's people that use this lake for fishing, and they would say that should be the most important thing that the lake produces. And there's other people that says, wait a minute, I bought my place to recreate and to boat, and that should be the most important thing. So you definitely have these use conflicts, and I think the word compromise comes into play, and so I think we know that's an issue. We definitely understand that's an issue. Land preservation. We have listed down here shoreline zoning variances, numerous. I don't know how much this group is going to want to get involved in variances with regards to shoreline zoning, but we know it's an issue, and so it's something that I think we need to take a look at and figure out how we can maybe help what's going on with that issue. We just listed it as something that we think is important. Climate shifts. A good friend of mine, somebody that I respect a lot, thinks there's a lot to this. You talk to somebody else and they don't think there is a lot to the climate shifting, or 1 degree here or 2 degrees there. We put it down because we think it does deserve some time and some effort to take a look at it, and what impact it's going to have on this lake and our environment around here. And I mentioned shorelines and shoreline before, so I'll kick the last one to you, Jerry.
All right, citizen participation. I think this is a big one. The more people that are involved out there getting their feet wet, literally, walking around the stream, out in the boat, the more you understand, the more you love the lake, the more you want to protect the lake. I mean, it's an addictive thing. Just this week I held a training on monitoring streams. Throw a little kick out there for another session. If anyone's interested, give me a call. We'll set up another training event. If I'm looking for another half dozen people or so that are willing to go out once a month, get in the stream, let's look at some bugs, let's look at stream flow, temperature, oxygen. This is all stuff that's flowing off the land into this lake. That's the source of the water. If we don't have good water coming in, we're not going to have good water in the lake. So
I just wanted to jump in real quick and just kind of explain why we gave this to you guys. Our group has identified probably, I would say, at least 10 items under each of those categories. For tonight's purpose, we just listed a few of them for you guys to use as brainstorming for your own issues. I know that sometimes if you were just to sit there laying in bed and you had to think, well, what are my concerns with the lake? You may not be able to think of something right offhand, but if you have a foundation to start from, it might help spur some ideas of your own. These categories are not absolute, They're not written in stone. They're just first run draft ideas. So if you have additional ideas or additional categories, definitely feel free to think about it. And then the next dates that we have, our next workshop dates will be Thursday, July 28th from 6:30 to 8, and/or Saturday, July 30th from 9 to 10:30 in the morning. You're welcome to attend both of them, or if you want to only attend one of them, that's great too. But at that time, that's when you guys can come with your ideas, you can tell us what your concerns are, and you'll be able to rank them and prioritize them. And then in addition to that, we'll also be working on a potential survey to reach out to folks who couldn't come tonight. That's still in the works. And there may even be more public participation meetings further down the road as we go through this process. So with that being said, I'm going to hand these out. You guys can just take a couple and pass them down.
And why